Hey there, gals and guys, Vetemor here, coming to you today with a very, very exciting video. In this video, I have Andrew from Illuvium coming on, the head of marketing, and he's going to be talking about the marketing of Illuvatars, of the land sale, and bringing us some marketing alpha never before heard. So you are going to absolutely love this, guys. So hi there, Andrew. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. Just as we were talking about right before the interview, both of us have amazing lives right now, able to do things that we love about the topics we're most interested in. And the biggest challenge is sorting your life, how you handle your personal life, how you handle your everyday, when all you want to do is jack into the matrix and chug this metaverse nonsense. So it's going really well, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome, bro. So to kick things off, could you take us all through your journey into like finding out about crypto, finding out about GameFi, what sort of led you to now becoming the head of marketing at Illuvium, and what's your backstory?
Sure. Big question. I'll try to give you the shortest answer possible. So basically I've always been like the AV guy, the guy who's into audio and video and technology. I was head of the high school AV tech team. I was that kid. And so my career after college ended up being me running big AV shows for eventually in New York at the highest level, big concerts, big fundraiser events. And I would come home at night and I checked out this thing. It was called YouTube at the time. It was like 2007, 2008. And I saw this guy named Husky Starcraft talking over him playing a video game. And I looked down and he had gotten 100,000 views on top of this footage of him just talking over a video game. And in that moment, I realized, oh, wow, all this AV stuff I'm doing, these big lights, camera action, and these ballrooms, this isn't the future of video. What this guy on YouTube is doing is the future of video. So I immediately, after work every day, from 2 a.m. to about 6 a.m. every day, made esports cast videos of StarCraft. I ended up becoming a caster for ESL's Go4 SE2 series. I casted all their replays. And I ended up making over time 10,000 gaming videos. And my journey went from me being a creator, me eventually being able to quit my full-time job, me starting the biggest gaming creator content network ever, TGN, us getting acquired by a publicly traded company, and then me coaching hundreds of the biggest gaming creators in the world for a living for the last, at this point, 12 years. I was one of the first Twitch partners. I've been like chugging gaming video and streaming and media all day, every day for 12 years. There might only be like one or two other humans on Earth that have chugged this much gaming, media, video, influencer world than me on Earth. And I love it. So in that chugging process, I found a couple YouTubers there. The names were like Vulcan and Vetemor and a couple of these guys. And they were talking about this video game that looked way better than all the other games in crypto gaming. And so I was checking out crypto because I was working in the financial publishing industry, which is old school stonks. We're talking like Gen Xers and boomers, like trading stonks and getting advice from expert traders. I was running businesses like that. And crypto started coming up. I researched it, and then I saw this thing called Illuvium, and you guys doing interviews like this one with Kieran. And it suddenly hit me like a ton of bricks that legacy gaming, social media, Twitch, Facebook, all these things I had been building and teaching people how to grow on for the past 10 years, it suddenly hit me, that is now legacy. So just like when I was doing ballroom audio visual and I saw YouTube and I realized that was the future, I quit my job and I went and did that instead because that was the future. Now I was the big social media executive. I see crypto gaming coming up and I realized that's the future. So I quit this whole social media executive thing and I jumped into crypto gaming. I just DM'd Kieran one day. He jumped on a call with me 24 hours later and then he just created a position for me. He's like, I want you to run video and influencers here. And he made me an offer I can't refuse. And so after being on board for a few months, it was clear that I was the best fit to run marketing for all of Illuvium, not just video and influencers. And so here I am. I'm now running marketing for Illuvium. And it's like my dream job, man. I get to focus on crypto. I get to focus on the metaverse. I get to focus on gaming. And I get to focus on the things that are most important and most interesting to me in the entire world every day. And I just fucking love it, man.
That's freaking awesome, bro. That's freaking awesome. And then when it comes to the next sort of massive event, when it comes to Illuvium, that's pretty much going to be the land sale. Could you briefly summarize how the land sale is going to work and your vision for it?
Yeah, so we are all in on the marketing team on land sale. We've got 2 weekly meetings just about land sale on our team. And just to go over all of the complex details of what we're doing from a marketing perspective. Just land sale in general, for those of you that want a refresher or don't know what it is. Basically, land in Illuvium it's different than any other land you've seen out there in metaverse space. So if you look at Sandbox or Decentraland or some of these 3D world type of lands you can buy, what they're selling you is essentially like a 3D space inside of a video game world. And now you own it as an NFT. And then you have to figure out what you do on the land. It's up to you. You can program your own buildings. You can build your own mini games. I don't know. You figure it out, says Sandbox and Decentraland. Axie Infinity sells you land. They'll say, I don't know, maybe we'll do something with it years down the road. I don't know. And so Illuvium has taken the complete opposite approach with land. And we've developed an entire mobile and companion game that's a town builder game. Think like Clash of Clans, minus the dudes beating each other up yet. And you can just play building your land, putting down your own industrial complex in our game called Illuvium 0, harvesting fuel, scanning for blueprints for alluvials, and literally you buy the land, you plug it into this video game Illuvium 0, you hit buttons, and you make money. That's what our land is. And what's really cool about our land is it's not just relevant to the current Illuvium main game that we're putting together right now, the Auto Battler and Overworld game, but it will be the only land for all Illuvium games and properties forever. And so it's a really exciting prospect, and we're selling multiple tiers of land. So anyone can play Illuvium 0, the land minigame, for free. You can do it with a tier 0 land. It's not worth any money. You aren't getting any money out of it, but you still get to do the fun town builder game. As you move from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 to tier 4 and tier 5, you get more fuel, you get more element sites, and then at the tier 5 level, you get an esports arena in your land. And so we've got infinity educational content coming out and plans for land sale, which I can talk about in a moment, to help everybody understand which land, if any, is maybe right for them or not. But the big differentiating factor here is Illuvium land is something you can actually use today that has real utility in the Illuvium gaming franchises into infinity. And you can literally get fuel out of your land that you can sell on the Illuvadex for actual money, for ETH, or you can keep to accelerate your progress in our games. Whereas go buy any other land anywhere else, for the most part, they're maybe like having you stake it somewhere for some tokens maybe. Maybe they like give you some blocks you can put together and like try to get your buddies to come over to your land. For us, it's just very cut and dry. You buy the NFT, you plug it into the game, you play game, make money. And you can buy multiple pieces of land, parcels of land, and you can play all of those through the mini game as well. So let's say you bought 5 lands, plug them all into the game, and then you just swipe between your lands and then manage your different lands. So my plan is, personally, this is not financial advice. You guys need to do with your own situation. I don't know. I'm just a marketing guy trying to sell land to people. But my plan is to buy a bunch of lower tier lands, maybe a bunch of tier 1s, maybe one tier 2 or so, personally. Plug them all into the mobile game and then give it to my wife. She likes to do town builder games, and she's just gonna make me money, baby. So that's my plan, personally. And so land is really exciting for that reason. You don't have to guess what the value is. It just is right in front of you.
That is very cool. I actually hadn't heard about this option that you can actually just so easily integrate multiple lands that you own. I think that's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, exactly how that looks. I haven't seen how it looks, but I asked Aaron for personal reasons. I'm like, what do you think of my strategy to buy a bunch of tiny lands and put them in there? He goes, oh no, you'll be able to play all of them. Now, how easy it is to swipe through them, is it literally a swipe? I don't know. I'm just kind of simplifying so people can understand that they can buy multiple lands and they can play each of them in Illuvium 0 for the rewards.
Awesome, awesome. And obviously, as you are the head of marketing, in your opinion, like, how do you think it should be approached, the actual marketing for this land sale? What do you guys have planned?
Oh God, it's so much. So we've never done anything on this level from a marketing perspective yet. So you saw a little bit of what will be involved with land sale marketing in staking V2. So that like premium explainer video where stuff goes on like Illuvium is a blah, blah, blah game and and has smooth animations. So we're going to have an explainer video for land. It's already done. It's been done for 4 months. We're going to have a tutorial video on how to buy land. We're going to be working with influencers, where influencers are going to be doing videos. I've already talked to you about this too. Videos on why land is unique and how to buy land in all languages. We're Arabic, German, Spanish, Portuguese. I got dudes all over the world lined up for this. We're also lining up as many interviews as we can possibly get with as many high-level folks as possible. We already have, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm just going to say it. We already have Rich Dad with Robert Kiyosaki lined up. We just did a couple big YouTubers recently, Lady of Crypto, and we're kind of moving up into the mainstream crypto world. Real Vision, we've got one booked with them. Nice. So we've got a lot of interviews on a lot of media outlets lined up where we're talking about land. Paul Barron as well. We just talked about land on Paul Barron. And also we have co-marketing campaigns with major blockchain organizations, DAOs, et cetera, lined up. So we're working on a campaign with Chainlink because they're the oracle for land sale. And we're working on a campaign with Immutable X because obviously Immutable X is the layer 2 everything is on for co-marketing opportunities. We have secret marketing plans I'm not going to tell you about right now in terms of, I'm not even going to say what they are, but we've got some special secret stuff planned. We also have a major live event planned for the land sale as well. That I have not announced publicly, but it is fair to say that this will be a totally bananas, never before done live event related to land sale on a whole nother level. And it will be related to tier 5 land. I'll say that. I'm not going to provide details and I'm not going to make promises right now, but it is even beyond what I told you privately we were thinking about now. And we're looking at really making tier 5 land sale. That's the most expensive land for those that don't know, that has the esports arena on it. And you can get sponsorships there. And all our big record-breaking esports events will literally be hosted on this land. That tier 5 land sale is going to be, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make that a big PR piece, if you will. If it sells for millions, plural, which is not out of the realm of possibilities at all. And some of the other items we're trying to line up work. This could be a crypto story that's covered by the entire crypto media. And that's what I'm working on right now, is to try to make that into this big PR event, essentially, where we break records and what have you. So I'm working on that as well. I don't know, that's just some of what we have planned. We also have some community events and advertising and original social content, we're going fucking hard. Like, we're literally doing everything we possibly can to sell this land. And to get education out, to get the emotion high, and to work with as many external partners and platforms as possible to bring in leads of people that would be interested in buying land.
So the tier 5 land, there's obviously only ever going to be 7 of these. And I believe in this first land sale, there's only going to be 2 of those 7 on sale. And they're going to be sold differently than the rest of the tiers. They're going to actually be in an auction fashion. Highest bidder wins. That's going to be, I'm just insanely curious to actually watch how that auction goes, because it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, what we're talking about right now with that, all of this is subject to the count. So everything I say in about Illuvium is all subject to this freaking council approving things. That's what's being decentralized is about. But the council will need to approve kind of what our plans are, what the prices would be, and these different elements of what we are talking about internally. But the current idea with tier 5 land is to make it visible on our land page where you can navigate land and to where you can bid on it from there. And so we were talking in the past about making it like this private auction that like only qualified whales or something can go in there and bid on it, because we didn't want any, troll bids. But given that whenever you bid on land, and I'm not technical at all, it verifies that you have the funds in your wallet. That actually is the best verification process we could ever have. So I think that everyone, will be able to see the tier 5 land, and everyone will be able to bid on it. But obviously, you would need to potentially have considerable funds to be able to put in a viable bid, depending on what the market decides that it's worth. I want it to be, sold for record-breaking amounts, but the market will need to determine that, and the council will need to approve everything prior to us going live with the land sale.
I'm very excited to see all of that play out. Are you enjoying this episode of the Vetcast so far? Then definitely smash that like button right now. Just do it real quick. To sort of move things onto Illuvatars, could you sort of break down how those are going to be usable, the utility behind them? One thing that I'm still a bit fuzzy on is the exact mechanics behind the accessories of Illuvatars and how all of that works.
Yeah, so some of that is actually changing a little bit internally in the development and creative process right now. Little changes, so here's the basic deal with Illuvatars for those that haven't gone deep on it. And we haven't released that much information about it. We've talked about it. Anyway, just so you guys know, everything I said about land sale marketing, Illuvatars, yes, probably more on top. So just so you know, we're going ultra hard on these two from a marketing perspective. So that answers that question. But with Illuvatars, basically you've got the base portrait, which is, basically a picture of an alluvial, right? And they all have a relatively similar position. And the layout of their face is similar so that we can layer accessories on top. And there are either going to be 4 or 5 accessory slots. There was some talk of how these different slots, maybe one of them would be phased in or out. We're trying to figure that out. But the accessory slots will be, maybe headwear, eyewear, some kind of random accessory, you name it, skin, etc. And in the Illuvatars sale, you'll be able to purchase the portraits on a tiered system. And so depending on, the level of rarity that of a box potentially opening and giving you a certain rarity of portrait, that will be one item, one layer of the sale. Then the other layer of the sale is purchasing the accessories separately. And so the accessories, in terms of how we sell those, that there's a current plan of, having a rarity system and potentially having the ability to purchase a box full of accessories and you get a random accessory slot, maybe eyewear or headwear or whatever. And then they're then giving people the option of doing a non-random box where if you just want eyewear and you don't have any yet, you can potentially open a box just for that. That's the current idea, needs to be council approved. And so the idea is you buy the portrait, you buy however many accessories you want to buy. You can buy infinity, by the way. And then you can combine all of those into your Illuvatar, which is going to be used in-game and is, it's like this dynamic modular NFT with multiple pieces to customize it. And the portrait is really cool too, because not only is it just a picture of an alluvial, but there's different expressions, which can add rarity. There's different backgrounds, which can add rarity. And different alluvials themselves that are in there will also add rarity, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a bunch of options in terms of what you get with the portraits. And the same thing is the case with accessories. So accessories, just because you've got one pair of glasses, let's say, there may be that type of glasses, but a bunch of materials options of those glasses. So the basic, let's say blue glasses as an example will be common, but holographic, fucking crazy looking ones will be ultra rare. And so depending on how, depending on the price and then the tier of the accessory box that you open, you get a greater and greater chance of getting the rarer and rarer accessories. And so the idea is you're assembling this base layer portrait with your accessories on top. You're combining those. And then there's also another component to your Illuvatar, which are borders. We do not have any purchasable borders planned right now for Illuvatars, but we are looking into a number of borders as marketing options to work with different partners out there, so they can have a border to indicate their organization or something. We're working on that. And then also achievements in game or in esports or something. So let's say you were, at the upper 1% of the ladder, let's say, in a particular season of playing insert mode here of Illuvium, then you could potentially earn an achievement border, which would be around your Illuvatar as well. So, and I believe there was like balancer sale, flash pool. It was before my time, flash pool badges that are also another layer that can go on top of your Illuvatar. So the point is, Illuvatars are highly customizable. There are multiple modular layers. I think quite literally billions of combinations are possible, and people can buy infinity of them. So that's the basic idea with Illuvatars, making your Illuvatar unique to your interests and expressing yourself both in Illuvium games. And obviously, you can only imagine that people are going to be putting them as their Discord avatar, plugging it into Twitter and everywhere else, and going ham to show who's got the coolest Illuvatar.
Yeah, 100%. So essentially in this, in the main Illuvium game and in all future games, that you start out with having basically no profile picture in the game, and it's just like a blank icon, and then the only way to really get an icon is to buy an Illuvatar, and you could even just have the base layer, or you could assemble one to uniquely show who you are based on your tastes and preferences.
All of that was correct except for the first thing you said. So we will get, we're considering giving, and once again, the council needs to approve all this, but we're considering giving just a basic set, let's call it tier 0 set of Illuvatars that you can have, so you don't have a black box there, right?
Right.
So these would be like basic ones, and so you can choose one and have one, right? So you're not like left out and you're not some like weird black box. So everybody will be able to put something in the slot.
Yeah.
But the tier 0 ones will be like, I don't know, who knows, like 8 or something, like not too many, and they won't be crazy and they won't be super rare. They'll just be the basic ones. And then if you want, obviously, to go further than that, you can participate in these Illuvatar sales. And these Illuvatars, to my knowledge, this is it. Like the Genesis set we're selling here initially, that's it, man. There is no more Genesis set for sale ever again. Like you can't go back and buy these. We're not selling these again. This is it. Like if you can buy them today, or not today, but you can buy them when the sale occurs, and you can buy as many as you want. And then in the future, if Illuvium does become this revolutionary game with tens of millions of players or more engaging in the game 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, the Genesis set, it's like, I think like Pokemon Genesis set. Think like when it was Pocket Monsters and having those cards, that you were that early on that intellectual property. That's what this Genesis set is. It's being that early on Illuvium and being that early on avatars and NFTs. So there's just a lot of rarity value, I think, with the Illuvatars, especially this first Illuvatar sale. So I think that that's going to be exciting. We're also working on additional utility for Illuvatars. I cannot make promises on what that is today, but our team is very keen on having these Illuvatars, working on having these Illuvatars be more than just your avatar in our games, and being able to use these NFTs to provide other rewards and other benefits as well. So we're working on those right now. We have a couple of very ambitious concepts that we're working on, and hopefully we can lock at least one of those additional benefits down prior to the Illuvatar sale, which would add even more kind of interest in buying Illuvatars.
To my knowledge, this is the first NFT that's ever being sold that there is no cap on the amount that can be purchased. You can mint an unlimited amount, but once a set date comes, that series is done and no one's ever going to be able to mint them again. And the only way to buy them is if somebody's selling them. And if no one's selling them, they'll get expensive and rare over time. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah, there's a finite amount of ILV tokens. There's a finite amount of land NFTs, but there is an infinite number of Illuvatars. But the Genesis set sale, when it ends, it's over. And the only way you can get Genesis set and Illuvatars is if you buy them from someone else on the Illuvadex.
So something I was actually chatting to with a friend was if we actually know the precise date that the Genesis set ends, then people might do a bunch of buying on maybe like the last day and maybe not buy as many in the beginning just because they can buy as many as they want until the date comes. And we were almost like thinking about was, what if we say that there'll be like the sale's going to end in this month or whatever, but we don't say the exact date so that it's a bit more random, or is that just a bit too weird?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a toss up on that, I suppose. The thing is, we want these to be on sale for long enough for people to, even as they have cash flow coming in on their monthly paycheck or liquidity frees up from somewhere else, or, you know, you see all your boys on Twitter all rocking Illuvatars and like that effect, that ETH Lizardsy type of effect, we need to give the sale enough time to take hold with the market. Just strictly from a marketing perspective, that's the way I'm thinking about it, and Kieran is as well. And so I like providing a date because in all merchandise sales I've ever done in my career, having the sense of urgency that it is going to go away and it's a limited time offer, or there's a limited amount or whatever, like having that sort of limitation significantly drives up sales, just strictly from a data perspective. And so if we just kind of leave it open to maybe it'll end at some point this month, I don't know. I'm not sure how much that really, like, I feel like that takes away the urgent deadline. And if everybody just buys on the last day or whatever, fine with me. I don't care. Like, buy them all on the last day. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really matter to me from a marketing perspective. I just want every buyer that we can possibly reach to find out about it, to understand what the value is, and then for them to have the opportunity to make their own decision or not. And it's my job to pull them through that, to get their attention, to educate them, and then to put them in the right place to where they can decide whether it's a good purchase for them or not. And so I'm going to need to have some runway, a longer period of time for me to be able to do that effectively, and for the marketing team to be able to do that effectively, and for influencers and everybody else, right, that's supporting this project, to rock out your Illuvatar and be like, oh, check out my amazing Illuvatar. I think that's going to have a huge impact.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think they should be at least 3 months for them to be sold. As for how much longer than 3 months it's going to be, it probably depends on how quick they can get the next ones ready to go. Yeah,
months plural is what we're talking about right now. Yeah. Once again, this freaking council has to make the decision. So yeah, but months plural makes sense. I think we all kind of agree on that. We need to give people time to buy as many as they want.
Still watching this episode and enjoying it? Definitely subscribe to this channel for more Illuvium content. Okay, and moving on to the pre-open beta, Satan recently proposed a really cool marketing idea that was basically, what if we provided all ILV holders, as well as like holders of premium NFT projects, such as like Bored Ape Yacht Club, like Sandbox, NFTs and land, Decentraland land, you know, maybe CryptoPunks, different big NFT projects, the holders of those projects at early access to the pre-open beta, as well as like holders of Illuvium, stakers as well, as a marketing thing. I have also written this up, and there will be a link to like a edited, written up version of this idea if anyone does want to check that out. But what is your idea? What is your thoughts on that idea?
I mean, I love the idea of giving ILV token holders exclusive benefits. This is something that we've been talking about a lot within the marketing group for a while, and this particular idea is really cool. Assuming that the ILV token holders, or stakers, I guess, don't get any in-game advantage, and they don't get any extra yield or any other financial benefit of any description with this early access. That's the thing that I'm always very careful of with everything we're doing. Just so you know, literally every influencer, media company, and anyone that matters in terms of their big audience out there is asking us for pre-sale, for whitelist, for free shit, and like basically asking for a financial advantage in order to cover Illuvium. And it's really, really tempting, right? To like, oh wow, they're really big. And if we just gave them this one little thing, then they would maybe give us big exposure. But the answer is hell no. And it will always be hell no to those people to get a financial advantage with Illuvium. I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you're the president of the United States. I don't care if you're IGN. I don't care who you are. You will never get a financial advantage, no matter how much exposure you're going to provide our project. We're just never going to change that policy. And so as far as I'm concerned, once again, the council could overrule me and they could say, let's look, man, do it.
I think everyone agrees that this is one thing, that the Illuvium ethos of actually giving no whitelist, no pre-advantage to anyone that came early or that happened to be at the right place, right? Actual fair launch. I believe in that wholeheartedly more than anything else.
This proposal is not breaking that, though. So I just wanted to clear that up for everybody who's watching and maybe isn't going to read the proposal. The proposal you sent over is basically like, if you're an ILV token holder and or these other NFT projects, I don't even know how those integrations or how that validation would work in terms of validating.
It would just be like a snapshot, like of the like holders of particular. I think it's actually really easy to pull off from a technical side.
I can go ask our blockchain team, and I'm sure they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that'd be hard," or "You're crazy, Andrew." They could tell me, but at the very least, the ILV token holder aspect of it does make sense to me. I mean, this is not a promise. But I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but like we are always talking about ways and always working on ways to make being an ILV token holder sort of like being like a MX Black card holder type of thing, where you're in this exclusive club. And with these old school credit cards, you get access to, the premium flight lounge, and you get free Ubers or whatever, and insert other benefits that you get with the card, access to exclusive concerts and things like that. We want to do that for ILV token holders in a responsible way. And so this is a great idea for that. And it just adds value to being an ILV token holder or staker, maybe longer term, right? As long as the early access you get isn't to a sale or it isn't to get any power of a description where there's any yield, then this can make sense. So that I'm thumbs up on. The other projects, we would need to work with those projects and or decide just to go rogue and validate on our own. And I'll talk with Jawad about that. I actually think this idea is so good that I'm going to bring it up. We have our weekly marketing meeting in 8 hours and 15 minutes from now. And so I'm going to bring this concept up and bring your document up in the meeting as a discussion item. But if we did this, the idea is not only would I want to do something like this for Illuvium for ILV token holders, I would also want to do this is not a promise, Don't play this back as a clip, as a promise, but an ILV cashback credit card and things like that. As you're a token holder, you can boop every time you buy groceries, every time you buy the gas, every time you do these things in real life, you're taking your energy and your money from the fiat system and converting it into ILV tokens, things like that. I'm thinking Illuvium and ILV as a financial lifestyle brand almost. And so you can have not only the staking rewards, the revenue distribution, the SILV you can get out of the rewards for in-game, but also, the credit card, the early access, the exclusive events, the insert MX Black card style VIP strategy here. That's kind of what I'm working on with the marketing team. This is not a promise. Okay, but I promise that I'm working hard on it. So this idea is very well met.
That would be absolutely insane. Just putting some fuel in your car. Oh, I just bought some ILV, but with rewards. That's just amazing.
Yeah, those kinds of ideas. So the reason why I brought that up, I debated whether I was going to say that in this interview. I'm bringing this up to spark your audience's imagination, because the people that follow you are probably the most hardcore Illuvium fans and on the internet. I will read every comment on this interview when you post it, and I want your best ideas for these sorts of exclusive ILV token holder rewards. Think about realistic ones. Think about ones that like our team could go reach out to these companies or organizations and go like secure a business deal type of thing. Think about it like that and go make your suggestions. We will pull Jawad, our partnerships and growth manager, and I will pull your best ideas, and potentially we will do some of them. I want to know, what do you guys want? I'm assuming something like a credit card or like a whatever would be cool, but what do you want? Let me know. Seriously. My best idea always wins with me.
This is going to be a great comment section.
I know we're going to get some troll ones as well. So that those are going to be good too.
Okay. So we should probably wrap things up soon as we are on a limit. But lastly, just before we do, if someone is watching this and they're either new to or considering becoming a content creator for Illuvium, in your opinion, what are the top 3 things that content creators can do to help you the most with your efforts in marketing Illuvium?
Wow, that's a thank you for teeing that one up for me. So the thing that I really want content creators to do is, number 1, I want them to be thinking on day 1 about their business strategy for their own channels, plural, whatever they are, whether it's a podcast or a website or streaming or whatever. Thinking about your business strategy, how you're going to make enough money from what you're doing to support yourself and to do this for a living, and start there on day 1. And the reason why I tell you to do that is because I want Illuvium content creators to not just be here today, to not just be here till we launch. I want them to be here 3, 5, 10 years from now. Your survival and not giving up is incredibly valuable to Illuvium protocol, to the DAO, to our games. I've been doing this for a living for a long time, and 80% plus of creators that cover a game pre-launch dump it within 3 months of it being launched. And most of the time, that has to do with the game launching, interest dropping off. The creator's like, I can't do this for a living or whatever anymore. They either go cover something new or they just give up entirely. So I want creators to think about long-term sustainability with their media business. That's why when I talk to you in private calls or anyone else, I'm talking about like, where are you trying to go with your media business? What can I do to support and expand that and to make it stronger? And what can I do to help you be full-time or part-time or side hustle or whatever from a financial perspective? So that's number 1. If you don't survive and you die as a creator, essentially by giving up or by whatever, you're useless at that point. Like you're gone, you're out of the game. And so that's why I am trying my very best to help creators survive. Like the ones that survive on YouTube and on Twitch and what have you, those are the ones that like everybody looks up to. You know, the PewDiePies and what have you of the world. Like that guy was a nobody for like 3 years, making a video every single day until it became something. Mr. Beast was a nobody, making like 500 videos before he got any traction, etc. Survival is number 1. Number 2 is collaborating with other influencers in the DeFi, crypto gaming, GameFi, metaverse, whatever the hell you want to call it. We're going to throw out a million industry terminologies while this space is changing. Collaborate with those other creators. Make new shows with them, video podcasts, interviews, co-streaming, Twitter spaces, etc., to cross-promote each other and to help each other and to share your audiences with each other. This is like a huge thing for Illuvium, in my opinion. Illuvium community can be a bit too insular, and people that follow Illuvium channels are just following Illuvium channels. Help us spread the word to the larger crypto space by going on an interview with some other maybe mainstream crypto channel, or a channel that's covering Axie, or a channel that's covering not Illuvium, but is in the space. Those sorts of collaborations and those sorts of regular cross promotions and content go a long way to help Illuvium grow. As a marketing team, we're booking interviews like this one. I'm taking 3 a week and Kieran's taking 3 a week. We're doing 24 a month so that we can get the word out, not just on Illuvium channels like this one, but on crypto channels, on finance channels and what have you. But if influencers do that too, Game theory on, man. Like all of a sudden, this is less about I release a video on my Illuvium channel and hope people find it. And it's I'm going in front of the people that I want to find out about this and putting Illuvium in front of them. That's what I'm fucking talking about. So number one, look out for yourself and your own business model. Happy to help you with that. Number two, go collaborate and expand your own reach. And by proxy, the reach of Illuvium by doing collaborations, co-marketing, cross-promotion, interviews with non-Illuvium creators or part Illuvium creators and folks that are not just focused on Illuvium. Those two things are how you can have maximum impact.
That is awesome advice. Awesome advice. One thing that came to mind while you were saying that is a bunch of people have been sort of calling for more mainstream marketing as well for Illuvium. And like one question that is kind of out there right now is it worth us doing any marketing right now for the mainstream, or is it better for us to just concentrate on the crypto space right now and in GameFi space, and then mainstream marketing will come once the full game comes out? What are your thoughts on that topic as well?
Yeah, I mean, we have to. So we're doing a bunch of stuff to make sure we have facts on this particular topic, because it's easy to let your own media chugging habits influence what you think of the market, right? So what do I mean by that? We're currently doing a like premium marketing segmentation study. That might have just sounded like, what the F is this guy talking about? So this is like a professional marketing contract we did with a company that goes out and surveys the market you're interested in and asks them questions about, they're asking questions about crypto gaming, about Illuvium. We're doing like literal live human interviews right now. This is all happening on the back end right now in Illuvium. Live human interviews talking about what's keeping you from creating a crypto wallet. Why have you done it? What's most interesting about this game? Is it open world? Blah, 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 blah. And we're gathering all this data on what normies think about Illuvium in the space. That's number one. So we're doing like professional marketing research on this on multiple levels. So not only are we doing that segmentation study, we have professional platforms like Meltwater, which is the industry standard for understanding the entire market and listening to an entire market and understanding what sentiment is. It pulls all of the data from the entire surface web about a particular topic or set of topics. It can let you know what the conversation is like, how much the audience is growing, what the demographics are, et cetera. And so that's yet another data point. And then number three, using our business and marketing experience to get a feel for the market, because we're chugging it every day. So between those three things, talking directly with potential customers, essentially, by looking at the macro data on a high level of all those customers, and then number three, us interacting with our customers every day. Between those three things, we get an understanding of what the market actually is and what it wants. So just so you know, this isn't just us guessing and like Kieran being like, I don't know, I think that it's blah, blah, blah. That's not how we do it. It's not how we're doing this. It may sound like that. It's that casual in interviews and stuff. We're taking this very seriously. So that's the context for you guys to know. I've never told anybody that before, but externally. But that's what we're doing internally. So to answer your question, is it mainstream time today? No. Definitely not. Absolutely not. There is less than 5% humans on planet Earth that have a wallet. So if you do a mainstream campaign, this is just basic math. I go on CNN tomorrow and do an interview. By the way, we've had opportunities to go on mainstream, and you might be like, you turned them down? Yeah. So because 95% of the people watching can't even possibly be a customer, essentially.
Yeah.
And so that means you're too early. But it's an exponential growth curve, my friends. So we're right at the bottom of that little growth curve, and it's hockey sticking. And you just give it 1, maybe 2 more years, and it just goes up so far to where crypto wallet adoption is up. The number of games people are playing in the space is up. Regulation is in, and all these sort of mainstreamification type of things happen. Then at that point, more mainstream marketing makes sense. So you might be like, well, you don't want to go mainstream on this marketing. You want to keep it small? That's stupid. No, that's actually not what we're doing. So just as an example, we started doing AMAs, like even just 6 months ago, just with Illuvium focused creators like yourself. And that's like, let's say that's really niche, right? And it's important that we continue to do those. But recently, we have expanded our audience to go to mainstream crypto avenues and mainstream finance avenues, like the ones I mentioned earlier in this interview, Real Vision and these other folks that we're doing interviews with that expand our reach beyond the niche we're in today. So if it's the pyramid, Illuvium channels like Vetemor are down here at the bottom of the pyramid, most focused. We've gone to less focused, but wider market, mainstream crypto and finance. And then I'd say in about a year or two, we can go to mainstream, and that'd be way wider focused up here. And that would be like the most possible audience. Mainstream gaming is what I would target there.
Yeah.
Then after mainstream gaming and we get even more adoption, let's say 3 years from now, then you go up to the higher level than that. And that's just like broad entertainment category and mainstream humans. And you can get up there once there's enough people that can actually use your product. And so games like Call of Duty can do that. Games like Fortnite can do that. And other games that are on platforms that everybody's got in their hand with a mobile device and or console and or PC, and they've already got a credit card and they've got a bank account. They can literally buy a gift card for it at the store. At that point, when there's that level of accessibility to your product, then mainstream marketing makes sense. Like the day that you can go to Target or Walmart or insert the name of the mainstream store in your country here, and you can buy like a ILV gift card that you can like plug in and like engage with our video game, that's the point when we can do mainstream marketing. Because Joe average dude who sees it on CNN or on Fox Business or on his whatever mainstream thing, college football or whatever he's watching, when he sees it there, he can go to the store and go buy a card and go play that game. That's the time to do mainstream. We are not even ballpark close to that. So just trying to give everybody a kind of understanding of the progression that we're going to take from niche Illuvium channels, mainstream crypto, mainstream gaming, then mainstream. It's like a progression that's going to take time. And as the growth curve goes up for wallet adoption and crypto adoption and DeFi, we go up with it. That's how it works.
My only question left with what you've said is, so obviously right now with like land sale, investing in Illuvium as it stands right now, staking, all of that requires having a wallet. But once the full main game comes out, is there not going to be a way for somebody to like open that game, download it, play that game without having a wallet, and then be able to onboard fiat straight into that game with a credit card or a debit card without ever even having to create necessarily a wallet? Like a wallet almost gets just made for them like automatically and almost like a KYC type thing? Or is that not in the near future of the initial launch?
To my knowledge, like having the like fiat to crypto onboarding, I've talked with Aaron. I'm not that knowledgeable about this topic. I talked to Aaron about it, and our tech team is investigating the options that are available today. And they all more or less look the same, is what I was told. And so we're aware of them and we're seeing whether they're viable for us. So that's number one. We're not just like sleeping on that. Obviously, we want Joe average gamer to be able to just like type in his Visa card number and play our game and engage in it or whatever. But I'm not aware of that solution being ready to rock in the near term. I'm not aware of that.
Right.
Number two, will people be able to play our games without connecting their wallet and without having the DeFi, like being like deep in DeFi to be able to engage? To my knowledge, yes, that will be possible. Obviously for free players only. To start with, to my knowledge, that will be possible. Like if you're doing like tier 0 land, or you're doing like tier 0 alluvial, the thing is, if you're playing the main game and you run into anything tier 0 you want to collect, what you collecting it to? So like, the thing is, you don't really have a free account in that case unless you can put the things you're collecting into a wallet somewhere. And so that's a question that I would need Aaron and the tech team to answer.
Right.
For Illuvium 0, it's more clear, right? You could just play the game and not get yield out of it, whatever. But playing our main game and not getting yield out of it, I haven't heard that being possible. I mean, there may be some sort of override, I'm guessing, where you can just like ignore all the rewards or something and like not actually collect anything. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest.
Because
So I'd have to
there
defer
isn't
to
really
the tech
any
team.
rewards in the free-to-play side of it. So you could potentially make an account and have them as like just not NFTs, the tier zeros, but just, you know, store connected to an account like a normal game. And then maybe if you get a certain like distance into the game, then having, you know, then maybe somebody being like, well, I actually do want to put some money into this game. Maybe let me figure out how to get a wallet, how to put some ETH on it. I do like it. Hopefully, if there is a way to just play for free and the distance you get in the game doesn't reset once you get a wallet, that would be useful. But that might not
I'm
be
sure
something
that's being
you're-
developed, and what you're talking about is probably underway. I don't know. So for me, that doesn't currently affect my marketing plan. For what I'm focusing on right now, which is land sale and Illuvatars. Once we get closer to that going to market, then you can interview me then, and I'll literally know every effing detail about it, and I'll be able to tell you exactly how that works, because I'm going to be creating landing pages and advertising and marketing around exactly how that works. But I'm not knowledgeable enough on that subject to tell you precisely how free-to-play onboarding and rewards, how that process is going to go.
Totally. Well, I definitely want to say, Andrew, this has been an absolutely amazing interview. Everybody is I just can't wait for the community to see your answers to all of these questions. It's been amazing. Where can people go ahead and find you?
Find me? Sure. So the place I'm most engaged with the community here is on my AWAL Crypto Twitter account. So AWALL Crypto.
Link in the description.
I do post. Awesome. It's in the description. I post I'm responding to community members all the time there. And it's easier for me to respond there than Discord, by the way, just because I get thousands of Discord messages every day. And then also I'm posting like original Illuvium content there too, and talking about upcoming episodes of Illuvium Insider, providing my own thoughts and insights on, you know, metaverse and DeFi and stuff there. So it's not just like I'm retweeting the main Illuvium account. I try to keep it like all original content. So that's where you can catch me and you can interact with me directly.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you soon.
Adios. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Vetemor, you're the future, and I'll be seeing you guys there.